disappointing.
The honourable member for Courtenay-Alberni.
Madam Speaker, first, it's an honour to rise in support of Bill 240. This bill would prevent the illegal harvesting and trafficking of human organs and would penalize those Canadians who participate or facilitate in the illegal black market for organ harvesting and deter people from getting involved in this immoral, unregulated industry, loaded with illegal businesses. This illicit and illegal organ harvesting industry is hurting vulnerable people across the world. A global shortage of organs has driven this illegal industry, relying on low-income populations to be donors and wealthy foreigners to be recipients. It's illegal, it's immoral, it's an industry that preys on some of the most vulnerable people across the world. And we have to recognize that this demand is fed by wealthier nations and individuals. The illicit organ trafficking black market has grown exponentially, according to experts, and as demand has grown and supply has become more limited. And so who are the victims of this illicit trade? Well, like in the case of most organ trafficking, they tend to be poor and vulnerable that are exposed to exploitation, and they're commonly refugees living in terrible and unsafe conditions. They're often told that they will get large sums of money or release from debt, specifically in the case of kidneys, the most commonly harvested organ from living donors. Recruiters will even tell victims that the kidneys will grow back. These victims are desperate and are seen as easy prey for exploitation. The perpetrators who are often implicit in organ trafficking include a wide array of people, from the recruiters who identify the vulnerable victims, the transporters, the staff working at the clinic or hospital, the medical professionals who carry out the surgery, and the generally wealthier Westerners who buy these organs. And there's a whole chain of people who end up profiting from this horrific crime. And just over the border in the United States, over 114,000 people are on the organ wait list, with a new person added every 10 minutes. The World Health Organization estimates that 10,000 kidneys are traded on the black market worldwide annually, and that's more than one every hour. We just can't go on like this. It's completely unacceptable, and we as members of Parliament have to do something about it. So this is the fourth.
I'm sorry, I'm just going to interrupt the honourable member there. I do have a point of order. The honourable member for Regina Louvain.
Yes, Madam Speaker, and I'm sorry to interrupt my colleague, but we were just wondering, because of the numerous points of orders that have been talked about during the private members' hour, I was wondering, will that time be added to the end of the hour according to Standing Order number 30, subsection 7, where it says, in the beginning of the private members' hour is delayed for any reason, or if the hour is interrupted for any reason, a period of time corresponding to the time of delay or interruption shall be added to the end of the hour, suspending as much of the business set out in Section 6 of the Standing Order as necessary. So I'm just wondering, because of the numerous points of orders, how much time will be added to private members' hour at the end?
To the honourable member's point, the points of order that were done at the beginning were not counted as part of the hour of debate on this year. Does that clarify the honourable member's point of order? Perfect. The honourable member for Courtenay-Alberni can continue.
Madam Speaker, this is the fourth time that this issue has been brought before Parliament. The situation is urgent, especially those that are being preyed upon, and it shouldn't be a partisan issue. Here today, sadly, I know it's June, I know it's a difficult time, but partisanship is now playing in on this bill that could be saving lives of those that are being preyed upon in developing countries. So we need to stop waiting around and get this done. And I'm really disappointed to see how things are playing out today, Madam Speaker. This is the exact sort of bill that should get cross-party support, and all sides of the House should be able to agree that we and can agree that we have to do more about this, and that this has to be stopped. Not some distant time in the future, but right now. And there's been opportunities today to advance that. So it's been very disappointing. And the victims of this just can't simply wait any longer, Madam Speaker. And, I think here in Canada, we're way behind in dealing with this issue on organ trafficking. We look at other countries such as Spain and Norway and Taiwan who've passed similar pieces of legislation to tackle this issue. Europeans have a convention entitled, quote, Council of Europe Convention Against Trafficking in Human Organs, end quote. We have to start catching up with the rest of the world by acknowledging the problem and taking action to fix it. The international community must come together on this issue. Canada needs to be a leader and establish clear conditions that will cut off the organ trafficking industry's profits and these businesses, these illegal businesses. While most organ trafficking occurs abroad, measures must and can be implemented to ensure Canadians on long organ donation lists are not perpetuating this brutality by purchasing trafficking of organs out of desperation. Now, Madam Speaker, while we debate this bill to stop international organ trafficking, I do want to take time today to commend my colleague and good friend from Calgary Confederation for taking great action here at home and in this House that I know will address many domestic needs for organs. I'm aware it just received royal assent. His Bill 316 would deal with information from tax records being used for an organ donor registry. It's a highly commendable proposal that can be part of the solution to increase the supply of safe, legal, and consensual organ donations in an ethical way that respects human rights. This will have a real impact on people's lives here in Canada, and I'm honored to continue to work with my colleague and to be part of supporting his proposal from both the last Parliament and his bill then and the bill that just passed. And Madam Speaker, the NDP just really wants to ensure that this bill is passed swiftly, and for those who've been harmed by this illicit trade are given the justice that they deserve. To support this, we must do more domestically to, again, encourage ethical, safe organ donations, including giving Canadians more options to be able to sign up to the organ donation registry. Organ harvesting and trafficking abroad are a horrific crime against humanity. It must be stopped. Canada can and must begin the process of fixing this injustice by passing this safely passage of this bill. Again, I'm disappointed today, Madam Speaker, that partisan politics have come into play, and again, we support dealing with this horrific crime of organ harvesting and trafficking abroad.